Hey everybody, it's Pastor Suzanne from Lifeline Partnership. Welcome to our celebration of Black History Month. I want to introduce, so this is Jessie Coley. Jessie, can you raise your hand? So Jessie's going to is the person who picked our songs and who's going to be leading the singing. And Joe is going to be helping him. He's the guy in the really cool tie. So I am going to share my screen here, and the words will be there.
You too.
Good. Everybody can see it. It's bright yellow, right?
Yeah.
All right. So this is this is sort of our theme here, celebrating the past, looking toward the future. But like always, but like always, we're going to start with some creating some sacred space and a little moment of silence. We're here in this space now because we can't be together, and we can't be together because of COVID and because people are dying from this, and we've all been here. It's almost a year now. So 500,000 people, right around 500,000 people have died. Which is a lot. And so I just want us, before 100 years ago, when people died from the Spanish flu, it was 650,000 people in the US, but nobody remembers. And so I want to be sure we remember. So I'm going to take just a moment, and here's our candle that's lit. And we're going to have a moment of silence, and then we are going to sing our hearts out. Okay? All right. Does anybody know what this is?
I don't know what that is.
The statue, right? So this is in the Shaw neighborhood in DC, and that's the Duke Ellington, who was there's also the Duke Ellington Bridge. So he was a famous jazz composer and musician and led a band. And we started out trying to figure out, well, we knew we wanted to do music, but we didn't know what. So first we kind of thought about, well, what about music that comes out of the African American tradition, but has gone more mainstream? And then we realized that that's probably almost all modern music, right? So here's just a short list. This is jazz, soul, country, rhythm and blues, rock, rap, go-go, all influenced by music that comes out of the African American tradition. So we narrowed it a little bit to music from the Black church. That's where a lot of the music came out of, and a lot of people who are now in mainstream popular culture started out singing in Black churches. Here's a few. Anybody see anybody they recognize there?
Diana Ross, Whitney Houston, Norman,
right?
Usher,
all kinds of people started out singing in church, and now they're rich and famous.
Tina Turner.
Yep.
So we're going to start singing, and I'm going to invite you to have something that you can use as an instrument. You can just use the table. If you have something, I meant to bring spoons and I forgot, but I'm going to find something that'll work. I'm going to use my stapler.
I slapped my hand.
Clap your hands. Just let's have a little bit of noise here. All right. So I'm going to start with something that people sometimes think of this as a kid's song, but as I was reading about it, it was actually used during the civil rights era a lot, both as a sign of hope and because sometimes it was used, according to what I've been reading, as a way of calming things down. It's hard to be mad when you hear this song. So let's sing this, This Little Light of Mine. Everywhere I go.
I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Everywhere I go, I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
Jesus gave it to me.
Ooh, Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine. Oh, Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine. Jesus gave it to me. I'm gonna let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine. Let it shine.
You guys sound great. Here's a song to help us remember how big God is.
Yes.
He's got the whole world. You know this song?
Yes.
All right.
I don't know this. I don't know this song, Susan.
There we go. Right here.
Look at this, Jessie.
Beautiful. You guys sound great.
Thank you.
All right. So now for this next song, I have a couple of questions. Does anybody know what a balm is? B-A-L-M.
The balm. I don't know the other. You know what I mean?
So it's like something like a lotion or something to make you feel better. When you put it on your skin, it makes you feel better.
Oh, like.
And then the other word that we might not know in this song is Gilead. That's a place, right? It was for a while. It was a part of Israel, and now it's in Jordan. This is a song. Let's take a look here. It's called "There Is a Balm in Gilead."
Oh, okay.
And a lot of times this song is connected with the Underground Railroad. Whoops, nope. That's it. next song is connected to the other radio. This is a balm in Gilead. But what I like about this song is it comes from a verse in Scripture where the Israelites are really sad. They're living in Babylon and captive. And the verse says, "Is there no? Is there not even any balm in Gilead?" So that used to be a place where they made this balm. It was really famous, and so people who started singing this song when they first started singing it, they're like making this affirmative statement that there is a balm in Gilead. So it's like a hopeful song, right? It's for a song for when people are sad or don't have any hope and they need some encouragement. This is an encouraging song. So let's go ahead.
They sing a song, Christine. Sorry.
There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sick soul. Sometimes I think discouraged and think my work's in vain. But then the Holy Spirit revives my soul again. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded
Keep coming out and more fans of the rip.
whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. If you cannot preach like Peter, if you cannot pray like Paul, you can tell the love of Jesus and say He died for all. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul. Don't ever be discouraged, for Jesus is your friend. And if you lack the knowledge, He'll never refuse to lend. There is a balm in Gilead to make the wounded whole. There is a balm in Gilead to heal the sin-sick soul.
That was beautiful, everybody. Thank you. All right. So So this is the song I was talking about before that's often connected to the Underground Railroad. So can someone tell me what the Underground Railroad is? Did you learn about that? Say what? Who knows what the Underground Railroad was?
Under the bridge? Under the tunnel?
So that's a good guess. The Underground Railroad was when there was still slavery.
I don't know.
And there was this whole system of helping slaves escape and get to the part of the United States where slavery was already illegal. And they called it the Underground Railroad. So
underground?
Going from house to house, right? And usually traveling at night. It was a pretty scary thing.
You know, there's a thought, this tradition that Georgetown actually was a part of the Underground Railroad. That's correct.
Wow.
Hey, Freddie, here's
Housing in Georgetown actually was a part of it. As a matter of fact, if you look at some of the basements,
turn that off, please. Come on.
if you look at some of the basements in those houses, they have 20 looking rooms in them. And they believe these are where the enslaved people were hidden.
You know him. This is the Black History.
That is so cool. I've never heard that before.
Part of the history of our area.
Yeah.
And a lot of parts of Maryland also.
You're never going to see us soon.
I didn't know that. See, I grew up in California, so I don't know any of this. So that's an interesting thing to hold together with Georgetown in the last few years has had to kind of reconcile that they survived financially by selling off slaves, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. In addition, you can also do tours on the other side of the Bay Bridge in Eastern Maryland. Actual
Really?
parts of the
like different places that were. Wow, very cool.
We are.
All right, so we're gonna sing this, and I want you to figure out why it might have been a song connected to the Underground Railroad.
No,
Jesse,
baby.
I'm gonna have just you sing the parts in red.
Okay.
Those are leader parts, and then we're gonna sing everything in black. So let's go ahead and try that.
Children now wait in the water. Waiting in the water.
Wait in the water.
Wait in the water.
Children, wait in the water. God's
That most are dressed in white.
God's gonna trouble the water.
The Holy Ghost coming for me. God's gonna trouble the water.
Sing in the water. God's gonna trouble the water. You know that's what it is. Sing it. Sing it.
In the water. God's
gonna trouble the water.
All right. Can anybody take a guess who this person is in the drawing that I have, or the painting I have up here? Anybody know who that lady in the front is?
Who's the lady in the front of the picture? Is it Harriet Tubman?
It is Harriet Tubman, right?
Harriet Tubman, I got it, Freddie. It's Harriet Tubman in the picture.
You got it, Jackie. You're right.
Who was Harriet?
Oh.
So Jackie, you tell us who Harriet Tubman was.
Oh, you heard my voice. Oh,
of course I heard your voice.
Oh, and Harriet Tubman was a slave who freed herself and then freed many, many other slaves. And And Freddie and I went on a trip to it was in Cincinnati. There's a museum, and we were traveling with a group of friends, and we saw some more about her because that museum is on that border between Kentucky and Ohio.
Yeah. Where so that was what you got across that water, right?
That water, yeah.
So that's one reason why this song brings up ideas about the Underground Railroad, right? You had to get across that water, and that's where freedom was. And it reminds folks that just about how the Israelites, when they were escaping, the last thing they had to do before they got out of Egypt was get through that water, right? And God parted the water. So I think they probably took a lot of comfort, those of them that were Christian, took a lot of comfort in this song and in remembering that story as they were struggling to get to that water.
Right.
And then the other piece of this that I never knew what the trouble of the water was about, but so that's from a piece of scripture in John where there was a pool, and when the water was troubled, when it started to move and sort of bubble up, that meant the first person who got into the water would be healed. So people with all kinds of disabilities would go to that water and wait and try to be the first one. So the line means when God troubles the water, God's causing healing.
Oh, that's interesting. Okay.
Yeah, I had never heard that before either.
Thanks.
All right. So sometimes the songs that they sang in the Black church, the African American church, were songs that helped them to remember stories in the Bible or things from the Bible. So let's listen to let's sing every time I feel the Spirit and see what's in here that reminds you of something in the Bible.
Do you know the song Every Time I Feel the Spirit? I'm trying to get the sound up right.
Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. On a mountain where my Lord goes, out of His lodging, I rest looked around me, it was so kind. As the Lord is, all was mine. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Jordan River, surely flow into the body, but not the soul. So fine, I ask the Lord is all the time. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit moving in my heart, I will pray. Every time I feel the Spirit
What's in this song that is something from the Bible? So there's the part upon the mountain, right? So God's speaking to people. So Moses went up to the mountain, and God gave them their commandments. And then why is the Jordan River important in the Bible?
Freddie, why is the Jordan River important in the Bible? The Jordan River.
That's where people got baptized, right? John the Baptist got baptized.
People got baptized in the Jordan River.
All right, let's try the same thing with this song. A lot of you will know this one. Oh, when the saints go
Freddie, we know this one too.
Okay. Oh,
yeah. Last time it was black. Yeah, that's right. Yeah. The saints go marching in. Oh, when the saints go marching in. Oh, I want to be in the company when the saints go marching in. Oh, when the Lord glory comes. Oh, when the Lord glory comes. Oh, Lord, I want right to be when the Lord comes, when the new world is revealed, when the new world is revealed, oh Lord, I want to be in that number, when the new world is revealed, oh on that hallelujah day, and on that hallelujah day, oh Lord, I want to be in that number, on that hallelujah day.
All right, so what do you see in here that's in the Bible? The big one, I think, is New World, right? So thinking about in the book of Revelation, there's going to be a new world.
What's the new world, Freddie, in the Bible? What's the new world in the Bible, Freddie? Where's the new world? Where Mom is? Where, in what? In heaven, right.
In heaven, that's right.
In heaven, right, Fred? In heaven. The new world they're talking about in the Bible is
new
heaven.
World. All right, so here's a song that's a little more serious.
Hey, we know this.
Come by here.
Some people call this Kumbaya, or look, come by here.
I saw that.
Come by here, Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Come by here, my Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here.
Someone needs you, Lord, come by here. Someone needs you, Lord, come by here. Someone needs you, Lord, come by here.
Oh, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here. Send the
Bless, Lord, come by here. Send the blessing, come by here.
Oh, Lord, come by here. Oh, Lord, come by here.
All right. So This is on this hush hush, somebody's calling my name. I want you to tell me after we sing it what it was about. It's somebody's thinking about something that's going to happen. So let's sing it and see.
What's happening there in the picture, Freddie? Look at the picture. What's happening in this picture, Freddie? Where are those people going? What's happening? Where are they going, Freddie?
That's a really good thought. Hold on to that thought. Hold on to that thought, and we'll talk about it after.
Freddie, you say they're going to church?
Yeah. It's like they're in black or something.
What do you think, Freddie?
Let's sing it, and then we'll talk about it after.
I think they look like they're in black. Some of them black and white.
They're wearing black and white. Why are they wearing black and white, Freddie?
Sometimes they go to a funeral stuff.
That painting is actually a funeral procession, and actually you cannot see. That's not the whole painting. In the background, the mourners that you see up on the hill, which is closer to the grave site,
see the other people?
You can actually see the casket being carried in the whole painting.
Oh, that's a painting, and there are other people.
It's a painting. It's
now, trivial thing. If you all watch that show, The Cosby Show, they have this hanging up in the living room.
That's right.
Over their fireplace.
In that painting.
I think the shorter version, it comes in a few different ways. I picked this just because I really like the people up front.
Oh, look at that painting.
You ready, Jessie?
Yep.
Whenever you're ready.
Okay. Say it around first. Okay. So just say it.
I don't know the song, but we'll listen to this one.
I'm listening to. I gotta learn how to sing that song.
Hush.
Somebody's calling my
name.
Oh, hush. Hush.
Somebody's calling my name.
Hush. Hush. Somebody's calling my name. Oh, my Lord.
Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do?
Listen. Sound like Jesus.
Somebody's calling my name.
Sound like Jesus. Somebody's calling my name. Sounds like Jesus. Somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord, oh my Lord, shall I do? What shall I do?
One morning, death come creeping in my room. One morning, death comes creeping in my room. One morning, death comes creeping in my room. Oh my Lord, what shall I do? What shall I do? Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh, hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Hush, hush, somebody's calling my name. Oh my Lord,
shall I do?
So what was happening in this song, everybody? I think you figured it out, right? This is somebody getting ready to die. Right? So it's this beautiful song about somebody getting ready to meet Jesus, right?
Yeah.
All right. So
I think that's Taylor. Remember Taylor?
Oh, yeah, number 2.
So let's go to this next song here, and I want you guys to pay a lot of attention to what's going on in the picture, because we're going to talk about that afterwards.
What's going on in that picture?
Somebody's knocking at your door.
What's happening in that picture? Look at that picture. What's happening?
The lady, like she sort of knocking out, dancing or something.
Looks like she's dancing, huh?
Yeah, that's
Dancing. Dancing.
Whenever you're ready, Jessie.
Okay.
Somebody's knocking at my door.
Somebody's knocking at your door. Somebody's knocking at your door.
Why don't you answer?
Somebody's knocking at your door. Somebody's knocking at your door.
Somebody's knocking at your door. Oh, sinner, why don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door.
Sounds like Jesus.
Somebody's knocking at your door.
Sounds like
Jesus. Somebody's knocking at your door. Don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door.
Can't you hear him?
He's knocking at your door. Can't you hear him? He's knocking at your door. Why don't you answer? Somebody's knocking at your door. Knocking at your door.
Different sets on
Oh, Jesus, why don't you answer? He's knocking at your door.
You're gonna curl those weights all the way up to your shoulders, reach them all the way back down.
So let's look at this picture. What are the words on the back on the wall say?
Oh, what are the words on the back? What do the words say, Freddie?
Can you see the words, Freddie?
Jesus saves.
Jesus saves, right?
Jesus saves.
And it looks like they're dancing.
Curling those weights all
And
the way up.
it's all these people that are all together. So for a lot of folks that are church people, the church is one of the centers of their life. You've got family, you've got church. So for people from the Black church, from that tradition, it was also a place where a lot of civil rights and social justice stuff happened. And it was a place where you could be yourself, right? It was like a safe place to be. And that wasn't always true for other places. Well, it still isn't. For other places that African Americans went. And the reason I want to talk about this, we have 3 more songs, but I want to talk about this a little bit first. Somebody tell me who this is.
Oh, who's that? What's his name, Freddie?
George Floyd.
George Floyd,
right? So what happened to him?
He died.
Right. So he didn't just die, right? How did he die?
You're here. Killed by police.
He was killed by the police, right? So what happened after that?
I don't know what happened.
So there was lots and lots of protests, right?
Yeah.
People went out day after day and night after night all last summer talking about how wrong this was. And lifting up. So this term was already here, was already around. But I think a lot more people
what street
started to lift it up. What is that? What does this say?
What street has the sign Black Lives Matter?
Where is that?
But that's
You can hear
16th
Jackie
Street.
asking, where is this? Somebody tell me where this is.
Yeah, where is that street, Freddie?
DC.
The street?
Okay. Just wanted to see.
Same street that leads to the White House.
Right.
Oh, the White House.
So what street is that?
T Street.
The 16th Street.
16th Street.
Right?
Yeah, 16th Street.
So there's an African American pastor in my denomination. I'm Lutheran, and he's written a book where he argues that it should be the mission of the white churches in this century to work against racism and white supremacy and to work to bring an end to institutional racism. And I found him to be pretty persuasive, right? But the other piece of that is it's not always easy to do this because white people aren't always as smart as they think they are, and they miss things and make mistakes even when they have good intentions. So I want to tell you a story about the next song that I'm going to sing. I was at a church meeting, so there were hundreds of people there, and my denomination tries really hard to be inclusive, but it fails miserably. So it was mostly white people, and they were going to sing this next song, which is called the Black National Anthem by a lot of people.
But do you know which song?
It was late at night, and the leader, the bishop. Jackie, do you know what song that is then?
Lift every voice and sing.
Lift every voice. So that's what we're going to sing. But I want to tell you about this meeting because we were going to sing this for this meeting, but it was late at night, and the bishop that was leading the meeting said, it's okay, just go ahead and stay in your seats. So he was trying to be nice, right? Yeah. But he forgot about the fact, I'm sure he knew this, that it was the Black National Anthem, and he forgot. And usually, what do you do when somebody sings a national anthem?
Yeah, what do you do, Freddie? What do you do when people sing the Star Spangled Banner? You do what?
So what do you show respect?
You do what did I just do, Freddie?
Up and down.
What about up and down? I just stand. Thank you, Freddie. I stood up.
You stand, right?
You stand.
So the next day he came back to the meeting and he stood up in front of everybody and said, I made a really, really big mistake and we should have stood. And so we stood up and we sang that song the way we should have in the first place. And I know that most people in that meeting know that this song is the Black National Anthem, and I think they knew that they were supposed to stand. So white people still make mistakes, and we just got to keep talking about it till we do it better. So I would like everybody who can to stand up while we sing.
Stand up, Freddie. Okay. Stand up for this.
Whenever you're ready, Jessie.
Stand up for this song. It's the national anthem. Stand up, Freddie. Now we're standing. See, they see you.
Okay.
You can see that. See, I have this up high.
Lift every voice and sing, till earth and heaven ring with the harmonies of liberty. Let our rejoicing rise by the listening Let it resound loud as the rolling sea. Sing a song full of the things that our God has taught us. Sing a song full of the hope that the present has brought us. Take the rising sun. Slowly the road beats by, hear the chasing cry, felt in the days when unborn and night, yet with a steady beat, not a weary and weak, come to the place for which our fathers died. We have come for only with the that the tears have been we have come treading the path of the blood on the water. Out from the ruling heights till now our land at last, where the white gleam of our bright star is cast. God of our weary years, God of our silent tears, thou who hast brought us thus far on the way, thou who hast by thy might led us into the light, keep us forever in the path we pray. Let us not be straight from the places our God will lead thee. Let our hearts drunk with the wine of the forget thee. Shadow beneath thy hand, may we forever stand, true to our God, true to our native land.
All right. Go ahead and have a seat. So we're going to wrap up with two short songs. I just want to lift them up because they're both from people that are African American Lutheran pastors. That's a pretty small group of people.
Mm-hmm.
So Pastor James Capers, I'm holding up this hymnal. It's just called This Far by Faith. It's an African American resource for worship. Jessie, I think your wife was one of the people instrumental in putting this together. Do I have that right?
Yes.
She was the co-chair of the committee, right?
Right in the front book, right in the front of the hymnal, you'll see a list of people who worked on it, and I believe her name's at the top.
I think she's like chair or co-chair, yeah. Yeah, and you're the one who told me about Pastor Capers. Do you want to say anything more about him? He has a lot of songs, a lot of hymns in this hymnal.
In our Lutheran tradition, Pastor, we have a work of music that we call liturgy. It's a combination of words and music. He is responsible for writing a liturgy that my church has used, and a lot of Lutheran churches have used for over 30 years. It's called the Liturgy of Joy. And he wrote that, like I said, 30 years ago. When I heard about this project that we're working on now, I said, well, I know some black people, black pastors in our church who have done some things that maybe we should talk about every now and then, just to remind ourselves that they're there.
Amen.
And so that's something he did. And he's done quite a bit of things. He's known for pastoring a church, and I'm trying to remember whether it was Jamaica or one of the islands. He pastored there for a long time. Okay. And he and my wife have been friends for ages and ages. As a matter of fact, he was at our wedding.
Wow.
So I'll tell you a story though, because I think one time I got on his nerves. I know pastors are used to getting phone calls all day and night. And Debbie was trying to do something, and here it was like, I don't know, 7 or 8 o'clock. But he lived in California. So I said, well, I'll just give him a call. I called him. He said, do you know what time it is? Oh, please. So, no, he's a wonderful guy. He's a great guy.
So let's sing one of his songs. And I'm not familiar with this in the name of the song.
Oh, yes. It's very simple. Very simple.
Yeah.
Effect.
Father,
in the name of the Son, in the name of the Spirit, Lord, now we come. In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Spirit, Lord, now we come. In the name of the Son, in the name of the Spirit, Lord, now we come.
One more time.
we like it.
In the name of the Father, in the name of the Son, in the name of the Spirit, Lord, now we come.
Oh, I like that. We come.
That is so beautiful. Thank you so much.
Amanda and Harold are on you.
All right. So this last song that we're going to do, and then I've got a few announcements, but this is the last song. So this is another African-American pastor, Pastor Emmanuel Granston. Just to remind me where he's originally from.
Pastor Granston is originally from Ghana.
He is from Ghana. Okay. The song we're going to sing is from the Ghanaian musical tradition. Mm-hmm. And he wrote the text is how they put it in the hymnal. So he's the pastor of the church where Jessie is the music director.
Well, I'm the musician.
Musician. All right.
But the church is called St. Michael's Truth, and is in Mitchellville. And he's been pastor of that church for 23 or 24 years. And we now have another site. We now have another church that's joined with us. Our Savior's Lutheran, which is some may know it's on Oxon Hill. It's in that area. So we're one church in two places. So, as the pastor likes to remind me. So,
and my favorite memory of him is he was a pastor died, and she was serving as an interim pastor in DC, but she I think identified as being a member at your church. Mm-hmm. And so he led the funeral service that was on Upper 16th Street. And it's the first time in my life I've ever processed into a church to drum beats. It was such an awesome experience. I will never forget that. It was just like, this is so cool. This beats the organ any day as far as I'm concerned.
It's go ahead. I miss, because since we can't meet together the way would if it wasn't for the pandemic. I miss the fact that we have drums. As a matter of fact, I
have drums. That's why I got the drums out.
Our drummers are fantastic.
Yeah, the ones that were there were from your church. They were just amazing. Yeah. And so she was an alumnus from the same seminary that I was, and I wrote somebody about that, and they just thought that was the coolest thing. That it was just so her. They said that she would have drumming at her funeral. All right, let's sing this song.
Ears, let me hear in your word, the power in your word, there is life. Open my mouth, let me speak. Lord, eyes, let me see. Oh Lord, my ears, let me hear in your word, there is power in your word, there is life. Oh Lord, my mouth, let me speak. Beautiful, pretty.
So I wanted us to end on this song because it's such a song about such hope, right, and power, and I hope that it's a sign that white people can get better at addressing racism and white supremacy and be welcoming to all. That's why I picked that picture. That's when I think about issues like this, I think of the 42 bus, which I rode on every day for 20 years. And every time I was on that bus, it was just filled with people of every color and every race and from all over the world, and dressed from the people that clean the buildings to the people that own the buildings. And it was just, that's my vision for what the church can be and what the world can be. And so I wanted us to think about that and go back to what we talked about at the beginning, celebrating the future that's possible, something that offers hope. All right. Thank you all so much. We had so much fun having you.
Thank you. Freddie said thank you.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Fred. So I just want to remind you, our next event is March 13th. It's going to be a celebration marking Developmental Disability Awareness Month. We just got done planning that, so I think it would be really fun. I hope you'll join us. Look for something in the mail from me just before that happens. Remember that you can, if you want to watch this again or most of our previous online events, go to our YouTube channel, which is Lifeline Partnership. There's also Sunday School on the First Trinity St. Matthew YouTube channel. I'm working to move those over so they can be on our YouTube channel as well. So if you want to be a part of that, just email me, let me know, and I can add you to the list, or you can watch it anytime they're posted up, usually I think on Tuesdays. And then we're also doing a program called Lifeline at Home, which is mailings, and we do activities and other fun things. I'm still going to send off a mailing relating to Black History Month. So look for that. If you're not on the list and getting that, send me an email and I will include you on the list. So that's it, everybody. Thank you so much for being a part of it. I look forward to having you next month. Jessie and Joe, thank you. Can we give Jessie and Joe a big
Thank you, Joe.
They did all this work.
Again, it was an honor to be able to do this with you all. I was glad to help out.
You were wonderful. Thank you so much.
Thank
all
you.
right, everybody. That's it. Bye.
Bye. Thank you. Be blessed.
Bye.